Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I have 2 more books to share with you that were favorites, and I'm going to put them in my reading journal. They are from July, so last month, and they are 2 middle grade books that are just so special. And if you ever read middle grade books, I think you should try these 2. Such good books. So the first one is Rain, Rain. The other one is the Unteachables. I grabbed some stickers from the Happy Planner that I had, and I also grabbed some stamps and some washi, and I'm gonna throw it all together and make my spread. I have an idea in my head what I want each of these spreads to look like when I start, and I just kind of think about the different things that are in the book and kind of symbolize the theme of the book and also go with kind of the cover. So for the Unteachables, I found some homework stickers and then some like speech bubble stickers. One of them says, yeah, no. Another one says, OMG. And then over on the left side for Rain, Rain, I found some rain stickers because I wasn't sure if I had a rain stamp, but I did wind up finding it. So I'm going to use a combination of both. I also added in some thumbtacks and a pencil to the right-hand side. And then both of these books are really fantastic friendship books and like believing in yourself type of books. So I grabbed a stamp that says stay true to you and put it next to the clouds and stickers that I'm going to add along with some rain. And over on the Unteachables, I put gold star because there's a lot of learning and growth, like literal learning, and then also mental and emotional growth from the characters in the Unteachables. So I found this rain stamp and then I got kind of carried away with all the rain. It's probably a little too much, but that's okay. I also put a little bit over on the left-hand side and in the bottom right-hand corner. I did find another circle sticker when I was looking that is like a light blue and it says so good. So I put that over on the left-hand side, and I'm glad that I found that because it kind of brings a little bit of consistency between the 2 pages. And I also am using a touch of blue on the right-hand side and then mostly blue on the left side, and then that also brings in some of that continuity. So Rain, Rain has a lot to do with homophones. The main character, Rose Howard, has Asperger's syndrome and is on the spectrum, and she absolutely loves homophones. And personally, I love homophones too. I think they are such a cool thing. I really do. And so I decided to stamp that word down at the bottom since that was such a big part of the book. And then I looked at my Studio Calico stamps and I saw a stamp set that says you are, and there's a bunch of different words. So I'm going to use that in just a little bit. I decided to move the So Good sticker over to the left-hand edge, and I also added in the raindrops. This is where I'm going to grab that stamp set because it just fits so perfectly. Like I mentioned just a little bit ago, there's a lot of personal growth for all of these characters in these books, so I wanted to make sure to use this stamp set. And again, it ties both of the books together. So on the left-hand side, I did You Are Awesome. And then down at the bottom above the homophone, I did You Are Worth It. And over on the right-hand side, I did You Are Enough along with You Are Brilliant. I am going to have to move the homework sticker down there. And I had some ink on my fingers. And so unfortunately, it got underneath the homework sticker, but that's okay. I'm going to keep it, use it, keep going. But I just love this stamp set. And that's why I'm always telling you guys when I'm making these reading journal pages, it gives me an opportunity to go through my stamps again and kind of see how I can stretch my stamps and which ones will really fit my theme. Like the one I just grabbed was like an everyday details stamp set, but I was like, it's going to work because it's the stars and it's the little bit of blue stamping that I wanted. So always double check your stamps because you never know what you're going to find that will work perfect. I made some really skinny rating boxes for these books, and I'm just going to squish in my stats. I probably should start making the books like kind of the boxes kind of chunky, but for now they are long and skinny. One's below on the left and the other box is up top. I'm going to put the quote up here by the rain clouds because I figured that's a good spot. And the quote has to do with the main character speaking. It says, "I am Rose Howard, and my first name has a homonym. It has a homophone, which is a word that's pronounced the same as another word but spelled differently. My homophone name is Rose." And of course, it's spelled R-O-W-S. And that is the quote. And it really just sums up Rose and just what an awesome character she is. She is just herself to a T, no matter what gets thrown at her, because I'm going to tell you about her dad in a little bit. But she has a lot thrown at her in this book. And Anne M. Martin is actually one of my all-time favorite authors, childhood author, Babysitter's Club. So I just loved this book. So the synopsis: Rose Howard has Asperger's syndrome and loves homophones. Rose has a dog named Rain who also has 2 homonyms in his name. This makes Rose thrilled, especially because she has a set of rules for homonyms. Rain is Rose's best friend, and most days they spend together since Rose's dad works and then goes to the local bar. He doesn't have patience for Rose and her special needs. Then a storm hits and Rose's dad lets Rain out. Will Rose find Rain? And what happens when the original owners find Rain as well? So it just goes from there, and it's a wonderful story of Rose and her courage and her strength and her determination. And that's kind of what I put as my thoughts, that I just loved this character, and Rose deserved all the love. And there's also the character of the uncle, and he was amazing, and just his love for Rose and the special relationship that they have was so wonderful. It made me happy that Rose had that. So I think it's a great book that many people could read, not just kids, but grown-ups too. Okay, same thing with the Unteachables. I loved this book, and I wound up listening to it, and because there's so many different characters in the Unteachables, they all have different voices, which was amazing. I love when books do that. Like, they bring the characters to life. Right now I'm flipping through the pages because I couldn't figure out what number each of these books were. So I figured it out, and Rain is 80 out of 100, and then the Unteachables is 84 out of 100. And the genre for that is middle grade. Rain is realistic and middle grade. For the synopsis for the Unteachables: the worst group of students is paired up with the worst teacher in a class called the Unteachables in room 117. The class is a band of kids from all walks of life and various stories. There is Elaine, who supposedly causes pain, Kiana, who doesn't even belong in the class, Parker, who can't read, and Aldo, who has anger issues. And the teacher is Mr. Zachary Kermit, who is ready to retire and put the whole cheating scandal in the past. The principal decides to put Mr. Kermit in room 117 to really test him, as it's his last year before retirement. And the kids really see a teacher with the worst attitude. The kids thought they had the worst attitude, but it's actually Mr. Kermit. What follows is a wonderful story of room 117 coming together, kids finding friends and their love of learning, and a teacher finding his love of teaching again. Along the way, though, there will be laughs, messes, and love. It's an awesome story of friendship, and it's hilarious. I found it hilarious, and underlying all of that was the wonderful messages and themes of to keep going, found family and friends. And so I just loved that. So for the thoughts, again, I mentioned the audio and how I loved all the voices, and it really brought the characters to life. And I just loved how it was a heartwarming story about these kids who were basically dumped in this classroom and forgotten because they were supposedly unteachable. And then the teacher who supposedly had the cheating scandal was dumped in there as well. And then they just kind of joined forces in this whole hilarious heartwarming, like I said, story. So I loved it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing these two books come together and my thoughts on both of the books. I'd love to know what you guys are reading right now. I am finishing up Forget Me Not, and I just started an audio called The Drowning Woman. So leave a comment letting me know what you're reading. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.